The history of the River Thames is a tale that spans millions of years, showcasing its pivotal role in shaping the landscape and human civilization along its banks. Chapter 1. The Ancient Beginnings of the Thames. The origins of this mighty river trace back to an era long before recorded history. The story of the River Thames begins millions of years ago. During the Ice Age, the river's course was vastly different from what it is today. The Thames was once a tributary of the ancient river system that stretched across the land that is now the North Sea. As the ice sheets advanced and retreated, the river was reshaped multiple times, with new valleys and floodplains forming along its length. Archaeological evidence suggests that the Thames Valley was inhabited by early humans as far back as 400,000 years ago. Flint tools and remains of prehistoric animals have been discovered along its banks, indicating that the river played a crucial role in the survival of early humans. The fertile lands surrounding the Thames provided an ideal location for settlement, and, as civilizations developed, the river became central to trade, transport, and cultural exchange. By the time the Romans arrived in Britain in 43 AD, the Thames had already established itself as a vital waterway. The Romans quickly recognized the strategic importance of the river and built the settlement of Londinium, which is modern-day London, on its banks. The river provided a natural defensive barrier, while its wide expanse allowed for easy movement of goods and people. The Romans constructed the first known bridge across the Thames around 50 AD, connecting the north and south banks and facilitating trade between the regions. The river became a key transport route, with goods such as grain pottery and wine being shipped along its waters. The Romans also built docks and warehouses along the Thames, laying the foundation for London's development as a major port city. Despite the success of the Roman occupation, Londinium faced numerous challenges, including attacks from rebellious tribes such as the Iceni, led by the legendary Queen Boudica. In 60 to 61 AD, Boudica's forces burned Londinium to the ground, but the city was later rebuilt and continued to thrive until the decline of Roman rule in the early 5th century. After the departure of the Romans, the Thames entered a period of relative decline as Britain fractured into smaller kingdoms. The Anglo-Saxons, who settled in the region, used the river for trade and agriculture, but lacked the infrastructure of the Romans. In the 9th and 10th centuries, the Thames became a battleground as Viking raiders attacked settlements along its banks. The Vikings, skilled navigators, used the river to penetrate deep into England, launching raids on London and other towns. King Alfred the Great, recognizing the threat, ordered the construction of fortified towns known as burhs along the river to defend against Viking invasions. The Vikings eventually established control over parts of England, including the area around the Thames, but their influence waned with the rise of the Anglo-Saxon kings. By the 11th century, the river was once again a vital artery for trade, connecting England to the wider world. Chapter 4. The Thames in the Medieval Period. Following the Norman conquest in 1066, William the Conqueror understood the importance of controlling the Thames and fortified London with the construction of the Tower of London. The river remained a lifeline for the city, with trade booming and the population of London growing rapidly. The medieval period saw the expansion of London Bridge, which became a key crossing point over the Thames. The bridge was lined with houses, shops, and even a chapel, making it a bustling centre of commerce. However, the bridge also created a significant obstacle for ships, leading to the development of new docks further downstream. During this period, the river played an essential role in daily life. Fishermen relied on the Thames for their livelihoods, while watermen transported passengers along the river in small boats. The Thames also became a venue for grand royal pageants and celebrations, with kings and queens using the river for ceremonial processions. Despite its importance, the Thames could also be dangerous. Flooding was a constant threat, particularly in low-lying areas, and outbreaks of disease were common due to poor sanitation. Nevertheless, the river remained at the heart of London's economic and social life. The Tudor period, from 1485 to 1603, brought significant changes to the Thames. Henry VIII's construction of Hampton Court Palace on the riverbank showcased the growing importance of the Thames as a symbol of royal power. The river became the main highway for the transport of goods and people, with barges carrying courtiers between the many palaces that lined its banks. The reign of Elizabeth I saw the Thames become a centre of global exploration. Ships, such as those led by Sir Francis Drake and Sir Walter Raleigh, set sail from the river on voyages that would expand England's influence across the world. The Stuart era, from 1603 to 1714, was marked by both celebration and disaster. The Thames was the setting for the famous frost fairs, held when the river froze solid during the harsh winters of the Little Ice Age. People gathered on the ice to skate, trade, and enjoy entertainment. However, the river was also the scene of great tragedy, such as the devastating Great Fire of London in 1666, which spread rapidly along the wooden structures that lined the Thames. The 18th and 19th centuries saw the Thames transformed by the Industrial Revolution. As London grew into a global powerhouse, the river became a hub of industry, with factories, shipyards and warehouses springing up along its banks. The expansion of the British Empire meant that goods from around the world were shipped into the port of London, making it one of the busiest trading centres on Earth. However, industrialisation came at a cost. Pollution levels in the Thames reached unprecedented levels, with raw sewage and industrial waste pouring into the river. The situation became so dire that by the 1850s, the Thames was often described as an open sewer. The Great Stink of 1858, when the unbearable smell of the river forced Parliament to shut down, finally led to action. Engineer Joseph Bazalgette was commissioned to design a modern sewage system, which helped clean up the river and improve public health. The Thames in the 20th and 21st centuries on-screen text. The 20th century saw further changes to the Thames as London adapted to modern challenges. The river played a crucial role during both world wars, serving as a vital transport route and a line of defence. The Thames was heavily bombed during the Blitz in World War II, with many docks and bridges suffering significant damage. In the post-war years, the decline of traditional industries led to the closure of many of the river's docks. However, efforts to revive the Thames gained momentum in the late 20th century. The construction of the Thames Barrier in the 1980s helped protect London from flooding, while major regeneration projects transformed former industrial areas into modern residential and commercial spaces. Today, the Thames is cleaner than it has been in centuries thanks to environmental efforts. The river remains central to London's identity, with landmarks such as the Houses of Parliament, Tower Bridge and the London Eye standing proudly along its banks. The Thames continues to be a place of recreation, tourism and even wildlife conservation, with species such as seals and fish returning to its waters. The everlasting legacy of the Thames. The River Thames has been at the heart of British history for thousands of years. It has witnessed the rise and fall of empires, the triumphs and tragedies of kings and queens, and the ever-changing face of London. From its ancient beginnings to its modern-day resurgence, the Thames remains a living testament to the story of England itself. The river continues to evolve, adapting to the needs of each generation while retaining its timeless significance. Whether as a symbol of power, a centre of commerce, or a place of natural beauty, the Thames remains as it always has been, the lifeblood of London and one of the most iconic rivers in the world.